folks, this is all the fruit. And once again, I'm foraging for one of the most abundant foraging resources you can imagine. The Bunya. It's an interesting, very interesting plant, one of my favorite resources to forage. It comes from Australia, and like some conifers in different areas of the world, and especially Araucarias in different areas of the world, it has been a staple for thousands, probably tens of thousands of years. The most important and most abundant staple in Australia, which allowed the biggest gathering of Aboriginal people before the invasion of the Europeans. Its climatic range is amazing. Here it grows in the equatorial highlands of Java in Chibona's Botanic Garden, but I've also seen it in the equatorial lowlands, for example, in, I must be careful, there is a gang of macaques here, and those things are vicious. If you come too close, or if they perceive you to be a competitor for their food, they can get vicious. Usually they leave the visitors alone, but who knows? Often those monkeys in Asia, they are used to leave the locals alone but attack the stupid white men and the women and children. Well, Bunya. So I've seen it in almost the most tropical setting you can imagine, in the lowland equatorial rainforest area. Here we are in the high, more or less in the highland equatorial rainforest, but I've seen it admittedly in subtropical settings, fruiting profusely in southern France and northern Italy in the subtropical area of the Ligurian coast. And yeah, that's at the same geographical latitude as southern Canada. And for several visits in the equatorial tropics, I never found ripe edible seeds. So at first I wondered, is it a pollination issue? In Bogor there were just 2 trees. Maybe that's not enough diversity. Here in Chibonas I've made some videos. This is a young growth, just a couple decades old, but they have a growth of giant trees that really dwarf those. Those are like 50 to 60 centimeters thick, one of those big ones. The big ones in the other grove, or it's rather an avenue, they are over 2 meters thick. Monkeys, they are coming closer, they are surrounding me. Better be careful. Well, in those older growth I didn't find a lot of edible seeds, but here in the young growth there are a lot. However, I'm not the first one who's been foraging here, and usually if a monkey or a squirrel or another animal leaves uneaten seeds or nuts or something behind, those are usually the unpollinated or rotten or hollow ones. However, let's see. Where there is a rock, there is a way. This one is big and plump and heavy. Oh, yeah, there is definitely something inside. It's fresh and not rotten. Okay, I destroyed the seed. Should have been a bit more careful. Delicious. It's a little bit like a chestnut with a little bit of piney flavor. Or more like a pine nut, where the pine flavor is not so strong. I love pine nuts, but they are so small. But this thing here, the size of a chestnut, delicious. So finally we confirmed that those things can actually fruit profusely here in the tropics, albeit in the tropical highlands. Now a highlight would be if I could show you one of the Part of the cones, they're the size of a football. Well, they can be bigger than the European football, but since they are cone shape wise, they are more the size of an American hand egg. Well, come on folks, you cannot call it football when you throw away an egg with your hands, but I'm just trying to visualize the size of the cone, because here I cannot see a single one. Oh, today is my lucky day. Look at that, folks. This, well, smallish cone fell into the water, and so the monkeys as well as the squirrels did. Oh yeah. I hope it doesn't go monkey see, monkey do, because now the stupid white man is gonna get this. The slopes are 1.5 meter high and basically vertical. Yeah, everybody is watching me. Fat booty. They decided not to get wet. Not to get wet for a cone that doesn't contain a single good seed. Huh. Yeah. Oh well. We live and we learn. If I hadn't found this cone, I would have thought that most of the cones here are pretty well pollinated. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of good nuts which had been eaten by squirrels and probably also by other animals, but yeah, not such a high pollination rate. It's always great to learn new things. Okay folks, so this was finally a more or less successful Bunya hunt here in the, oh look at that, yeah, those are the traces of most probably a squirrel. This is too tiny for a monkey. A monkey would have chewed it up much more viciously. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich Cibora's Botanic Garden in Java. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.